All right, thank you for staying with us. I'm joined by an agricultural entrepreneur, one who has been able to show how that it is possible to not only venture into that space, but to continue to innovate and then scale while you're at it. Ken Obayiwana, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much for
having me. I appreciate it. All right. So we're just going to talk quickly and then we'll take a break in a bit and then we'll wrap it up after the break. Okay. But first, let's begin from, I don't want to talk to you about the entire agriculture as is fair, but I want to talk about how that we don't find many young people like yourself. I mean, brilliant, educated, innovative young people like yourself in agriculture. There must be a reason for that, right?
Yes, there is.
What are the reasons?
Okay, some of the reasons is that most of these young guys think there's no money in agriculture. One, they think the work is tedious to do. The only thing is all about farming. They don't know it's beyond farming.
Cutlass, hoes.
Yeah, so they see things farming is like the way our forefathers used to do it. Okay. So and you know some of them they've worked with their grandfather and it's discouraging. But they don't know that agriculture is beyond farming. There are value chains for agriculture, but they don't know about those things. So they just think, oh, agriculture is all about farming.
And I don't want to look dirty.
I don't want to look dirty. It's for poor, it's for our old fathers.
Right.
So yeah, that's one of the reasons why. And some of them that are also interested, but they don't have funds. They don't have money.
That's a challenge.
Yes, that's another challenge. They don't have money. Some of them have ventured it, but they don't have technical know-how. They don't understand the business.
No capacity.
Yes. So because of that, they're all not lost and they think, man, this is a dirty job, I can't do it again. So these are some of the reasons why some of all these young guys have been discouraged. We have our own share, but thank God we are here. We did not give up.
Yeah, I like the fact that you're here, and that's why you're here indeed. but let's talk about access to, excuse me, let's talk about access to resources. There are people who need seedlings, for example. There are those who need startup capital, no matter the part of the value chain where you want to play, for instance. How do we access all of these things? We've heard about things like the Anchor Borrowers program of the CBN. Yes. We've seen other initiatives here and there. Yeah. We'll see the Fadama 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. From your experience as a real-time farmer, have these initiatives helped us to become better at farming, at agriculture generally?
Yeah, some of the challenges we have with those programs are they've helped us in a way, but some of the challenges are that there is not enough awareness. A lot of people are not really aware of it. So of recent, we saw on news that federal government disbursed money to farmers. But who are the farmers? So a lot of the truth are some of these weak farmers, they don't have this information. So they are not aware of these certain opportunities. There have been a lot of opportunities here and there. I've had a lot of my friends that have benefited from Fadama. They have benefited from Fadama, but they are not, other persons are not really aware of it. So the few persons that are aware of it, they're just the one, they keep getting it, they keep getting it. Yeah, besides that, there have been grants. Personally for me, I've won a lot of grants, and that has really pushed my business. So yeah, there are a lot of grants, but people are not aware of it, and some people, they don't even know how to apply for those grants. So that's not that. So I have a community where I call it Africa Startup Forum, where I train startups to assist them get some of all these grants. And of course, about 2 weeks ago, one of my community members won 500,000 naira. You know, these are some of the things we put in place to help people. But reality is that these programs, these initiatives, they are trying their best, but really there's not enough awareness.
And that's a challenge.
Farmers are not aware of these things. They are not tapping the opportunities. And another thing I noticed is that it's same people that keep getting these opportunities.
So it's like a circle.
Yes, it's just like a circle. It's because there's not enough awareness about it. So it's same people keep getting it. Same people keep getting it.
For a minute, let's talk about the banks. Do you think the banks, commercial banks in particular, have been very supportive of those in agriculture in Nigeria?
Lately, I think 2 years ago, 2019, CBN have asked them to support, and lately they've been doing
in form of loans.
Some it's a form of creating. First of all, some of them are creating awareness. They are hosting some agricultural summits. Yeah, they create awareness with that. Then beside that, some of them are giving out funding in form of little micro loans here and there. Yes, recently they've been supportive. But some of the reasons why banks are also very skeptical about giving out loans is that the agricultural sector in itself, in entirety, it's a bit. You have a lot of uncertainty in the sector. You know, a lot of uncertainty. Because first diseases, and so they are on their own terms, they are a bit scared. They are looking at the risk involved, that there's a lot of uncertainty in this business. So that's one of the things they are looking at. That's why a lot of banks are not really willing, yeah,
to want to throw in all they have.
Yes, yeah, I can call some banks, but I don't want to mention names. But there are some banks recently they've taken initiatives. They are trying to put on structures here and there to see how they can support, create awareness. Connect small farmers, others together to their conferences, and it's been an amazing journey so far for them.
All right, great. So I think we're going to talk more about all of these issues. Then we're going to talk more about the calls by some people for diversification, that Nigeria should diversify from oil dependent economy into agriculture. We're going to look at the possibility of all of that, and then see how much of blessing, if you like, that can bring for Nigeria as a country. We know there are countries across the world that have been able to do so much, accomplish so much in terms of development on account of revenues from agriculture. You and I will talk about how Nigeria can also, as it were, explore those opportunities. That will be right after this break. Just stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Just to quickly conclude the conversation, Ken Obayiwan and I started a while ago. So thanks for staying back this long, right? So I was going to ask you something about the proposition, if you like, by many people saying that, look, we have depended on oil money for such a long time. Can we not take a look at agriculture? Nigeria is immensely blessed, all right, in that area. When you think about that, what do you think are some things from your experience, your first-hand experience? What do you think are some things we must do to be able to scale? Look at what has happened in recent times in most instances. We export Nigerian items, agricultural items abroad, and then they are rejected. How much of concern does that give you?
Yeah, it gave us a lot of worry, because some of these are encourage we young guys to go into agriculture, wanting to export.
Of course.
But here we are exporting, and yet they are giving us, it gives us a lot of concern, like it's not up to standard. Now, he also give us another question to know, he also give us a question to know that, what we are consuming here is not of standard. That means if we are exporting what we are consuming here, and they are saying it's not of standard there, that means it should give us a concern to come back and ask ourselves, what are we eating? This was the question that I started asking myself. That's what pushed me to organic farming. That's why I started focusing on organic farming, because I was like, if what we are producing in Nigeria, we are exporting it out, and it's being rejected, saying it's not up to standard, that means what we are eating here is not up to standard. So we need to upgrade and try and meet up to standard, because if you produce something and you start exporting that is up to standard, and they are consuming it here, that means what you are producing automatically is already up to standard. That means what we are eating here is already up to standard. But for me, there's a lot of things I think we should focus on, so that because really agriculture as at today is a new oil. Is a new oil.
Is that the same reality for Nigeria? Is it new oil for Nigeria as well?
It ought to be, but it looks like is a male wells. But it ought to be. If government really focus on this sector, yes, it will be. There are four major problems that we need to resolve. Number one, we have access to land, access to technical know-how, access to market, and access to fund. If government really help us to solve these four issues, you will see agriculture will become the real oil, not just in male wells. It will become the real oil of the country, because a lot of us are looking for lands. I remember there was a time, 2019, I was disturbing the then Commissioner of Agriculture for lands. I was writing to him, disturbing him for lands. Imagine if there was lands. Why not we have a cluster? We have a market already for these guys. Then we are farming. When they produce, there's a technical know-how coming to meet them at that field to help them out. So once they produce, there's a market ready for it. Then there's government funding the project for these guys. It can come in a form of clusters. If there's any initiative like this, a lot of us will be encouraged to go in. With the assurance that there's market. And some of the things some of us are facing is that they produce and yet they don't have market. And that's why I tell people, if you want to go into agriculture, first thing you need to do, secure the market for your produce first. Be sure there's a market for it.
Before you start producing?
Before you even start producing, be sure there's a market for that produce. Because a lot of times, what people do, they go into agriculture, they will produce first and start looking for market. Before you get market, at times, those goods
would have gone bad.
They could have gone bad, they could have gone bad, really. So, I think if government really focus in this sector, solve these four major problems I just highlighted, actually agriculture will become the new
I want to borrow your word. I mean, you have used the word, in continual reference,
yes.
Cluster.
Yes.
for many years, we've seen clusters of people,
Yes.
all right? But most times, I think the word they use is cooperatives.
Cooperatives,
And then they
yes.
say they are bringing money. Maybe there's a federal government agency, maybe under the Ministry of Agriculture, for example, bringing money by way of funding agricultural
Yes.
initiatives and so on and so forth. How much of access do the real farmers have to these clusters?
Okay, but I was opportune. I did agricultural economics and extension services, and during my project, one of the things we look at was cooperative. So I mean, we're doing normal project work, but we went to village to ask questions. So when these farmers sees us, what they say, like, please go, they will use the pidgin. I beg, they go. We've been deceived several times with different cooperative coming. This was what reality. This is what we faced. Like, we start explaining to them that no, we are not cooperatives. We are not from government agency. We just came in to get some questions for our project work and the rest. So he gave me a question that really, is there any cooperative that is really functioning in Nigeria? There is really no cooperative society that is really functioning in Nigeria that you can call as a cluster. There's no really one that is really functioning. Of course, there are some that are functioning, but are they really functioning to the full capacity? Are the real smallholders farmers benefiting? The real truth is that if we focus on smallholders farmers, if we help them scale up, because they are the real backbone of farming. So if we help those smallholder farmers to scale, agriculture will be interesting. Those guys are the real farmers. But you see, over time we've neglected them. And they are the one helping themselves. So if we can really help them with cooperative society, through cooperative society, fund them, through cooperative society, create market for these smallholder farmers, it will really go a long way to help. But a lot of these smallholder farmers, they are not benefiting from the cooperative society already existing. And
so
that's a challenge
the purpose obviously behind those
yes.
cooperatives is already defeated.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Again, at least the much time will allow us to talk to you on the program this morning. But I know you have done brilliant work putting right on the table the issues associated with the agricultural space where you are a big-time player. Kenneth Obayuwana, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. That's what we're leaving the program for today. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember, the views of our guests are their opinions. I'm Muyi Agmofwegbe. Our coverage on ITV continues. Enjoy the rest of your day with us.